Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're taking a look at Rndr, seeing what's going on with this guy. I got a lot of good feedback on this here, of course. Looks like it's playing out the way that we expected. You take a look at this most recent playout chart, we can see that with it waking up like this, it's going to come down and bounce off its most recent support level. Okay, so obviously we're seeing that happen here today. If we take a look at smaller time frames, you can see it's consolidating nicely here with a nice little pennant potential breakout pattern. Okay, so really good stuff there. We're going to take a look at that and much more. Keep in mind, if you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, hope you can learn something here today. CryptoCash.tech is a site if you want to become a better trader. We have a trading academy, community, and signal group. We've got day trades coming to the community here in just another week or two. We're ironing out the details on that, but that'll be also part of our package there, our premium package. So be sure to check that out. And of course, help us grow our Twitter because we are trying to get up and running here. We just started kind of getting, moving forward with this, and it's catching steam. Okay, so really cool stuff there. Thanks again to everyone that's contributed so far. Remember to like, retweet, and follow if possible for any fundamental and tactical analysis news. Okay, so good stuff there. Be sure to check that out. So here's the thing with Rndr. We want to note that, first of all, we got to reverse these Fibonacci retracement levels, okay? And the main reason why we do that is because of the simple fact that the price is in, well, discovery mode. Keep in mind, obviously, it's been higher than this in the past. Don't get me wrong. But in the most recent past, ever since the first of the year, if you will, we have seen the price get rejected consistently at the 218, 220 mark, right in that range, and we can see that it's using that as a support level now. Okay, so we're going to look at that and much more. Obviously, just keep in mind, make sure to watch to the end because I can assure you this is going to be beneficial for you if this is a coin that you're interested in investing in. Right, it definitely has some strong long-term potential. Okay, so that being said, where are we at right now? Well, we're getting rejected by 70 in the RSI. That's pretty standard for the most part. Okay, most of the time when you hit RSI at 70, you reject out and you come back down. Kind of happened recently with this most recent uptrend, but for the most part did break through and kind of came above for a short while. We also saw it break above here as well. The key takeaway is that when you're above 70, you typically stay there for some time, and that allows for bullish trends to continue. So if all goes well, we can break above that here today, and we should be able to continue further. Keep in mind, money flow index is high as well. That's absolutely important for this to be able to maintain its consistency. We've also got a MACD convergence here as well for the last 2 or 3 days. So all in all, it's been a pretty smart play by those who are investing in this long term because it's absolutely taking off. Okay, so I think it's going to continue to shoot upwards, but what we want to look at is better case scenarios here. So these are good targets to kind of shoot for. First of all, let's go ahead and align this a little bit better with the 0.414, because basically when it comes to Fibonacci retracement levels, when you bounce up and you pass this level, it's the kind of price discovery mode, as I like to call it. We're discovering a new price, right, at least for this year. So 220 is the new bottom. What's going to happen next? Well, typically 0.272, 0.414, and 618 are the common Fibonacci retracement resistance levels. So the first hurdle, you could say, would be $2.55. That would be the first hurdle. So there's a good chance that we're going to see the price action continue to hit that level and then potentially reject, or hit 273 and reject. One of those two things is probable. Now, is it possible? Absolutely, just as well, right? It's just one of those things that's going to be, in my opinion, probably an inevitability, but generally speaking, those are going to be some resistance levels based on Fibonacci retracement. Now, when it comes to this here on the 4 hour, what we're going to look at is a couple of key things. First of all, we're testing 70 on the RSI once more. Keep in mind, the smaller the time frame for RSI, the stronger the potential pullback. In other words, the daily can stay above that for days, but the 4 hour, it can really only stay above that for a short while. And as you can see here previously, when the price went and significantly jumped up, it stayed above RSI for what was that, about maybe 12 to 24 hours. Okay, that's usually the length in which we'll see that happen. So recently it came above there for only about 10 to 12 hours, somewhere in that range. But for right now, we can expect the price action, we break through 70 on the resistance, for it to continue to stay above that for only 1 or 2 trading days. Okay, that's usually the top, the max out. That being said, we are potentially going to converge on the correction. We're potentially going to diverge on the MACD here. So this does tell us that the momentum could shift, where the 12 intersects with the 26 in a downward fashion. That essentially just tells us, from a swing trader's perspective, it may be a little late to get in, but I don't really truly think so. Based on what we're seeing here so far, we do have a pennant type of pattern, and pennants typically break to the upside when they derive from the downside. Okay, so I think we're in a good chance here to be able to see the price continue further from here. But traditionally, from a swing trader's perspective, we were kind of maxing out. We've had a lot of momentum in the recent past here. In fact, if we take a look at TD sequential, we did hit a 9, and that really just helps us imply the fact that we should see a reversal. But the fact that we're in price discovery and we're just above this previous resistance turn support now leads me to believe that if the price were to pull back even once more, we will see a significant bounce off of 220, or more importantly, it's down bouncing. It doesn't care. It's going to go up. That's one of two scenarios are probable. The likelihood of it coming down really low is very low. Only thing that could possibly cause that is a fundamental catalyst such as Bitcoin dropping below 27,000. We see what happened yesterday, happened today, it could very well occur. And keep in mind, this candle wick right here, that was Bitcoin correcting itself yesterday significantly by 10%. The fact that it held above that support level is extremely important. Okay, so I think it's awesome stuff here. Pretty much everything's looking bullish, minus that potential divergence on the horizon, but just because you have potential divergence on the horizon doesn't mean it's going to actually happen. It just implies you want to pay attention, right? So pay attention. I'm going to set an alert here for just say 225. Actually, I'm going to do 222 just to see if the price does come back down to bounce. We can try to get in where we can, but for the most part, it may not even happen. Okay, so keep in mind, I'm not expecting it to happen, but if it were to, I can kind of reevaluate and look and see if it's worthwhile and possibly get that swing trade out to my community. So that's where we're at here for Rndr. Simply put, the 1 hour, we have some previous overextensions. This is pretty common. The key takeaway is that we saw a 9 on TD sequential on the 4 hour, but we're seeing basically 2 9s here on the 1 hour. So if you add this up, you're looking at a secondary 9. So that's basically just a full, 36 to 72 hours of continuation, and it's absolutely something that usually is followed by a decrease in value. But in this case here, maintaining that support level right there is going to show that there's really no price that's going to be lower than 220. So you're kind of late to the party here if that's in that sense, if you got a price anywhere above 220, if that makes sense. Okay, so again, that's kind of where we're at there. Ichimoku Cloud is going to give us some good news here for the most part, but here's also some, I wouldn't say there's potential bad news, but this is something kind of telling us here. So if you haven't watched my Ichimoku Cloud videos, you're familiar with this. I have a video, of course, instructional and how to use it, but the bottom line is that if you're above the conversion line and the baseline, which are these two here, for example, then you're in good shape, you have momentum. Well, the conversion line and the baseline, they're kind of intersecting and they're really compressed. That basically tells us that it's probably not best to take a position right now, and then if you have a long position, you may want to consider have taken profit by now. Okay. Also, same thing with the lagging span. This is now in the price section, so it really just says, hey, you probably don't want to consider buying right now because it's not a safe breakout. Okay. That being said, it's not, again, like I said, you're kind of late to the party, but on the same accord, try not to just take a long right now because it's looking really good. There's a good chance that it could pull back to this support level at 220, so keep that in mind. That being said, though, we're above the cloud, and that's the most important. So in truth, we have some bullish qualities here, but it's not bullish in the sense of wanting to take a position based on this indicator. That, to me, is something that I truly don't love. In general, I don't like to take positions when we have this kind of price action. Keep in mind, everything else is bullish, though. So does that supersede this here? Perhaps a little bit, yeah. To me, being a little more conservative, I'm going to wait for a pullback and try to get in because I hate to be FOMOing in at the top. But again, we don't know the top's there. There's a really decent chance that we're going to see this pennant type of breakout to the upside. Okay, so keep that in mind. We're still looking very good here, and the probability of a further upside makes more sense than downside. But if it were to retest this 220 mark, I'd be more than happy to get at that level. A little happier than I would be right now, but I think that there's a good chance it's going to continue to run. So, better case scenario here, let's go ahead and just summarize here. A better case scenario for Rndr in the immediate future would be 255, secondary target to that 273. And once again, I'm not familiar with my trading technique or my trading style. My community members know this, of course. When you set targets just below key Fibonacci retracement levels. So don't set a profit target at 255, do 254 or 253. Okay, just below to ensure you get filled and you get in and out before the price pulls back. Okay, so all in all, fantastic stuff here for Rndr. It's got 2 thumbs up if that were to be a thing, and I think that we're going to be seeing some further upside here moving forward. It's absolutely got tremendous potential, so really excited to see where this goes. Thanks again for watching. Again, if you're not currently a community member, CryptoCash.tag is a site. Please help us, like, subscribe, follow that whole 9 yards here on YouTube, but more importantly, help us build our Twitter community. We've got a lot of good fundamental and technical data rolling out there, and we're trying to build our subscriber base there, so be sure to set your notifications on so you can stay abreast on everything that we have for you. Thanks again for joining me here. Hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.